In Renaissance Italy, three writers gather to talk about their famous works.
G'day, I'm Steve Irwin, and I work at the greatest place on earth.
Oh, hello, Petrarch.
Hello, Machiavelli. Hello, Castiglione.
Good evening. It's nice to see you all here today.
What a beautiful
You as well.
day.
So, let me begin by telling you a little bit about myself. I am an Italian politician, diplomat, writer, humanist, and philosopher. I'm best known for writing The Prince, what some say to be a modern guidebook on how a king should rule. It speaks about how it's hard to be close with the general public without actually speaking to them or living their way of life.
Wow.
So, tell me a little bit about yourself, Castiglione.
Well, I got this book here. It was published in 1528, and it had people look at Europe through parodies and jokes, and it describes warfare. How about you, Petrarch?
Well, I'm an Italian scholar and poet during the Renaissance times. I was one of the earliest humanists and called the first humanist. I was best known for my "What's so funny, Machiavelli?
Nothing,
You think
Petrarch.
I'm a clown? Do I amuse you?"
Please continue, Petrarch.
Alright. I'm best known for my lyric poetry, and I'm considered one of the greatest love poets of all time. My love for poetry led me to travel to the men of learning and monastic libraries for classic literatures to study.
Wow. That's so interesting.
Also, I was most famous for my Canzoniere classic series, in which I wrote about my love, Laura, who was my idealized beloved. Machiavelli,
Yes.
you look like my squire.
Well, I don't know what you mean about that, but one thing about me is that my family was super into education. My father was a lawyer, and I was reading and writing at a very young age, around 4 or 5, which is like really new for that time period. Anything you'd like to say about yourself?
My book was published in 1528.
That was that was about 40 years after I was born. See, I was born on May 3rd, 1469. Many people believe I am the founder of modern political science. There is a term that people use called Machiavellian, which is, people use it to describe someone who would do anything to get their way.
Machiavellians such as Tupac Shakur.
Machiavellian, such as Cersei Lannister from Game of Thrones. She'll do anything to get her way and to become a queen. So what else do you have to say, Petrarch?
Well, I'm also the author of Secretum Moon. An autobiographical text about finding God in the midst of secular life, and many others scholarly and poetic works. I understood the works of classic literature using my Christian faith.
You're gonna have to speak up a little bit, Petrarch. Speak up. Well, personally, on that note, one of my best quotes from my book, The Prince, was, "The presence of sound military forces indicates the presence of sound laws." And it believes that good laws follow from a good military. If a country is able to be strong on the battlefield, then they don't have to worry about that. They can worry about bettering the community and the kingdom around them. And that was
Unlike-
one of my main points in the book, The Prince.
Unlike Battle of the Bastards.
That doesn't really make much sense, Petrarch. Castiglione. Anything else?
Well, my book describes warfare. Oh, something has just come upon me. I remembered that the Book of Courtier was the most popular writing piece of my stuff in life.
Castiglione.
I was saying.
Are you okay?
I'm sorry. Slam my.
Did you clean up downstairs?
Dad, we're in the middle of filming.
Oh shit.
Carry on.
Ah, that was just your squire.
That was my squire.
The squire is gone now.
Let me
Continue.
continue. I was sent to Rome in 1513 as an ambassador of the Duke of Urbanu, and later entered papal service. I was a humanist. Went to a humanist school of Giorgio Morella and
I
Demetrius.
do think that is one thing we all have in common. We are all humanists.
Oh.
So, it seems as though we have come to our closing time together, gentlemen. Petrarch, can you tell us a little bit about humanism, saying that you are the father of humanism?
Oh, as the father of humanism, humanism is my specialty.
Wow.
Okay.
As the father of humanism, I'd like to say that the Renaissance humanism is the spirit of learning that developed at the end of the Middle Ages with the revival of classical letters and renewed confidence as the ability of human beings to understand truth and falsehood.
Wow.
Well, you know, I do have a big thought about humanism as well. I do believe that a key fact to know about humanism is that it rejects the medieval philosophical school of thought and revived traditional Greek and Roman political and social ideals. So that means that before then, the world was focused on medieval things, such as religion. They were very clear cut with what you needed to do. Humanism rejects all that. It takes Greek and Roman art, politics, writing, and it brings it to light, and they try to study it in a better way. Castiglione,
Yes.
tell us what you have to say about humanism.
Well, humanism first manifested itself in the rich upper class. In Italy, the humanist educational program won rapid acceptance, and by the mid-15th century, many of the upper classes had received humanist educations, possibly in addition to the traditional scholastic ones.
I
And it
couldn't
was
have
that-
said it better myself,
And
Castiglione.
Castiglione, it was that humanism that shapes the world we are living in now.
Indeed.
Well, now that we're at the end of our conference, Petrarch, I would just like to say that that stinky ass hat is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Well, Castiglione,
Me?
your beard is quite raggedy.
It's almost made of plastic. And are those streamers in it?
Screw you, I don't like your
Absolutely
gown.
What did you say to me?
Are we out for a joust?
We shall fight to the death. I will win vengeance against the men who have wronged me.
The time has come for me to defend my honor. Ugh.